The New York Knicks had defeated the San Antonio Spurs in Game 5 of the 2026 NBA Finals, their first championship in 53 years. Man, no matter if you were a fan of this Knicks team or not, you gotta just admit this was a crazy run, 16-3, and cap off a dominant NBA Finals run with the highest point differential in NBA Finals history. And let's just go over this fifth and final game. I really thought this series was going to go on longer. It seemed like it from the games. Every single game went into the clutch. Every single game within about 5 to a few minutes. You just didn't know who was going to win. And for it to end in 5, I'll say a little bit anticlimactic. I really was expecting the Knicks to lose Game 5 and for them to win at Madison Square Garden at home. But it is what it is. I have some takeaways from this game, and let's just get right into it. What's up, y'all? It's Bobby Smooth, and I'm back with another video. Make sure to hit that like, that subscribe, hit that hype, and comment for me, and let's get right into it. But my first takeaway is that the Spurs failed to capitalize off another quick start against the Knicks. This time they had the Knicks shooting super poor from the start. The Knicks actually had their worst first quarter and first half overall in this entire playoffs. First quarter, the Spurs held the Knicks to 13 points. They were just 1 of 13 on two-pointers, which is an abysmal 7.7%. They actually started off their first 11 threes, missing all of them, and they were 4 of 22 overall from the field in the entire first quarter, which is 18.2%. Jalen Brunson was really the only offensive force in this first quarter and this first half. He had 8 points on 3 of 6 from the field and 2 of 2 from 3 in the first quarter. Rest of the team, 5 points on 1 of 16 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3. Nasty. And then the first half overall, 37 points. They shoot just 6 of 25 on two-pointers, which is 27.2%. 13 of 44 overall, which is 29.5%. And again, Jalen Brunson, he was really their only thing going offensively, man. 16 points on 6-12 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. And everyone else, 21 points on 7-32 from the field and 4 of 15 from 3. OG and Cat, 1 of 5 each from the field. Cat's turnaround midi over Castle turned out to be his only field goal and only points of the entire game, which is wild. But on the bright side, he did have 8 first half rebounds. In total, he didn't play a whole lot in this game due to being in foul trouble. And he actually fouled out within the last 2 minutes of the game. The Spurs, they were at plus 10 up on the Knicks for the 5th straight game of this series. You couldn't have asked for a better start from this Spurs team considering how poor the Knicks started. They started off pretty good, man. Wemby, he made his presence felt. He had 2 quick blocks in the game. Cat was trying to attack him like how he's been doing all series, and he actually blocked his shot when he tried to body Wemby. And then OG Anunoby, he tried dunking on Wemby, in which Wemby blocked that away. Wemby overall, he didn't play a great first half. Well, all things considered, it was decent. Just 9 points on 3 of 10 from the field. That's not good, but considering that a lot of those misses were actually putbacks of his own misses, just trying to put up his shot from his misses, you can understand that. But he also had 5 blocks for the entire first half, so that's great. He had 5 offensive boards to go with that as well. Dylan Harper, per usual, continues to be awesome off the bench, and they just don't know why he's not starting or just playing more minutes overall over you know who I'm about to talk about. He came in and just started being productive right away, man. 7 points on 3 of 3 from the field in his first 6 minutes. I really don't understand why he wasn't leading the team in minutes. Well, no, okay, maybe not leading the team, but at least be top 5 in minutes because he was playing better than everyone else, basically. He was the best offensive player in this first half. He finished the first half with 11 points and the only player to score 10 or more in that first half. The rest of the Spurs, they were struggling, besides Julian Champagnie and Devin Vassell. Stephon Castle, just 2 points off 2 free throws. He was 0 of 7 from the field and 0 of 3 from 3 in this first half. De'Aaron Fox, man, 5 points on 2 of 8 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. That dude just stinks. At least in this series, man. I think his reputation has taken a huge hit in this series. And we're just going to get to him later because I have a lot to say about him. Keldon Johnson off the bench, 3 points on 1 of 4 from the field in 9 minutes off the bench. Kind of in line with how he's been playing this entire series, really underperforming, well, really underwhelming, always just driving to the basket with no plan, and yeah, always finds himself in trouble. With the Spurs also shooting not that much worse than the Knicks, they inched back, and by halftime, they were only down by 5 points, and that Spurs lead was aided by Devin Vassell's midi at the buzzer. My second takeaway is going to be quick, and it's quite simple. Everyone is better than Jalen Brunson until it's time to be better than Jalen Brunson. Oh my goodness, what a closeout game from this dude. 45 points and 29 in the second half, including 15 in the fourth, which is no surprise because Brunson is Mr. Fourth Quarter, duh. He ties Michael Jordan with the second highest points in a closeout game. This is crazy because the Knicks only scored 94 points the entire game. So Brunson scored nearly half of those points. Brunson was excellent all game. He made an array of difficult pull-ups over so many guys. Julian Champagnie, Dylan Harper, getting to the basket on Castle, and even Wemby. He had a dope move on Wemby when he did a drive on him. He dribbled into his body and did a stop and go and laid it up just quick enough for Wemby not to block it. I thought that was really cool. You really can't stop Brunson in the clutch. When he gets going, he knows how to get to his spots. He knows how to get a shot up quickly, and he's looking like a superstar. With this championship, Brunson is officially the third small guard in NBA history to lead his team to a championship as the best player after Isaiah Thomas and Stephen Curry. So, word to Becky Hammond, maybe he ain't too small. Now, for my third take, it's that Dylan Harper cannot be tamed any longer. And what I mean by that is that I'm tired of saying the same thing over and over. Dylan Harper is a starter. Dylan Harper is a star. Dylan Harper needs to be prioritized. Dylan Harper is better than De'Aaron Fox. I can go on and on. And in this game, he showed it in the ultimate way. Leading his team in scoring, he had 25 points the entire game on 10 of 19 from the field, still getting to the rim, still getting his floaters up. He had a dope layup over Landry Shamet. He was on the baseline. It seemed like he had no space, but he did a reverse layup, and he sneaked it underneath them. I thought that was crazy. It irks me whenever Mitch Johnson takes him off the bench. No, it irks me whenever Mitch Johnson takes him off the court when he's doing so well, but in favor for De'Aaron Fox, so we can just see him throw up some pull-up middies early in the shot clock. Like, what? I just don't get it. I don't understand, and you can see we have insight because after the game, Devin Vassell post-game said that Dylan Harper, he was frustrated with his rotating role in this series. Well, I guess throughout all playoffs, because his talent is so evident that it seems criminal to keep him on the bench for so long. Dylan Harper is one of the best finishing guards that we've seen in the league. I think offensively, the only thing that has to really improve is that three-point shot, which, like I've said in my past videos, already looks good. So that should be an easy fix. He can handle the ball. He's poised. He's strong. He's a good defender. He has all the makings of a future All-NBA player at the very least. If come next season, he's not starting, me and a lot of Spurs fans, really a lot of fans overall, are going to be really, really upset. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about his 2 crucial missed free throws at the end of the game, in which the game could have been a one-possession game. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm blinded because he's so good, but he's a rookie. It was his first playoff run, so I think it's a mistake that he can fix. It's not like he's a bad free throw shooter. It's just, clutch moment, and he got tight, and it happens. But yeah, I had to talk about that. So for my fourth take, and I guess it's appropriate because this player is number 4, De'Aaron Fox. He must be investigated like Terry Rozier. This has been brewing this entire series because he has had a pretty abysmal series overall. This game, he saved his best or his worst for last. 7 points on 3 of 15 from the field. 3 of 15, which includes 1 of 8 from 3. And somehow he was a starter high +1 for the Spurs. I guess because he had 5 assists to go with just 1 turnover, I guess. But really, he was so bad this game. He was taking way, and I mean way too many pull-up jumpers for a player who was not a consistent mid-range shooter. He was shooting these shots like he was Shea. Like he had a shot going, but he didn't. And not just his middies, his three-pointers, all of his jumpers, they were either early in the shot clock or they weren't even close to being made. It was really atrocious and nasty work out there. Not just that, man. Fox in general, his overall aura playing is like he's very nonchalant, and I guess you can see that as a positive for a young Spurs team that needs a veteran to be under control and not be rushed by the moment, because, you know, we've seen moments in which Harper and Castle weren't the most relaxed. But I think this is to his detriment, because I didn't see Fox play like he cared. He played with very little passion throughout this entire series. So I just didn't like that. And just making stupid plays. In this game, he got a flagrant one when he shoved Josh Hart on a transition layup in the back. Hart went flying and still finished the layup and won, and he made his free throw. Why did this man play 6 more minutes than Dylan Harper? I get that he's a veteran, that Mitch Johnson wanted to go with him. This is the guy that they signed last season during the trade deadline, I believe, or whatever. And, you know, they're going with him. But like how Charles Barkley was saying at halftime, you got to go with your guys that are helping you, you know, and clearly Fox was hurting this team. And it's kind of crazy because Castle arguably had a worse game than Fox. He had just 6 points on 1 of 10 from the field. His only field goal was that tip dunk that he had at the end to keep the game close. And he was 0 of 3 from 3, 4 assists to 3 turnovers. But that's besides the point. Fox was trash. In the fourth quarter, at the 5-minute mark, this is so ironic too, man. Richard Jefferson, who was on the commentary, he said that he didn't mind Fox running the offense. And literally seconds later, I kid you not, he bricked the midi, and then that led to Brunson making a transition layup that tied the game. I've never taken Richard Jefferson seriously as an analyst, and it's for reasons like this. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm overreacting, but we all clearly see it. De'Aaron Fox was so bad this game that he really shouldn't be on this team next year. Ideally, they already have a lot of guards. They got Castle and Harper, who are on rookie deals and who have shown great promise throughout this season. And you would just think it makes more sense for the Spurs to allocate De'Aaron Fox's Supermax money, which kicks in next year when he's going to be making $50 million or more, if they use that to get more depth or, like, I don't know, a better wing or a better backup big for Wemby, because it just seems like surplus to use it on De'Aaron Fox. So I don't know, man. Like, I could be overreacting, like I said, because De'Aaron Fox did have a good season overall. I mean, regular season. He was an all-star in the Western Conference, so that at least means something. He shot 49% from the field. And generally, he has that middle game in which, you know, normally he can pull up for those jumpers. I still remember his dagger jumper that he hit over OG to win them game 3. So, like, Fox still is a skilled player, but he's just had so many down moments in this series that really just puts a sour taste in anybody's mouth going into the Spurs offseason, and just suggesting that, hey, Dylan Harper should be starting and De'Aaron Fox should be gone because he's making so much money. And you have just a rare opportunity in which we have a young Spurs team that made the finals with 3 of the best players on rookie deals, in which Wemby has 1 more year on his, Castle has 2 more, and then Harper was going to have 3 more. So that gives you time to fill out this roster and get guys that otherwise you would be strapped to get, because normally when you have 3 great guys on your team, you're paying them a lot of money. But no, you have a rare opportunity. Take advantage. And you don't want to squander it for De'Aaron Fox. I want him gone, and I guess we'll just see. I don't know if he'll be gone or not, but yeah, we'll see. For my 5th and final takeaway from this game, really from the playoffs overall, is that we cannot minimize / normalize what the New York Knicks just did. They just had one of the most dominant playoff runs in NBA history, and there's a lot of stats that back that up. They went 16-3, which is tied with the 2024 Celtics as the 10th best record in NBA playoff history. Also tied with them for the 2nd best playoff record in NBA history since all playoff rounds in 2003 became best out of 7. Additionally, they are the only team in the top 10 to not have a win percentage of 56 wins or higher. They only won 53 games in the regular season. They had a 13-game playoff win streak that was ended in game 3 of the finals, but that's the 2nd best of all time. They also had a 14.9 points per game differential, the best in NBA history. Edging out, I believe, what was it? Who would they edge out for that? The 1971 Milwaukee Bucks. 9-1 record on the road, which included 8 straight playoff wins. Insane. And then 6-2 in games in which they were down by double digits or more. That was the best in the play-by-play era, which has been tracked since 1996-97. I would just say that one thing holding them back from being considered one of the best teams ever is that, like I said, their regular season record, just 53 wins. That's quite low for a team this dominant in the playoffs. I don't think anyone expected them to be on a run of this magnitude. Also, they only faced 2 50-plus win teams during this playoffs. The Cavs, who I believe won, 53 games, I think? And then the Spurs, who won 62. But considering just how they were blowing teams out time after time after time, at one point they beat teams 3 times in a row by 25 plus points or more. That's never happened in NBA history. A switch really flipped when they lost to the Atlanta Hawks in game 3 and went down 2-1, and we're like, okay, we're better than this. Let's just turn it on, and they just didn't stop. The dominance slowed down a little bit with the Spurs, because the biggest that they've beat them by was 10. But regardless, man, they were resilient in the clutch. They took control of the game after starting off slow. Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby. Awesome, man. This is a team that's going to be remembered for a very, very long time. And we'd be doing a huge disservice if we just act like this was normal. It's not normal. I'm not sure if we're going to see anything like this again. And we got to appreciate this Knicks team, dude, because wow. That's all I have for this video. I thank you guys for tuning in to my NBA Finals reviews. And thank you very much. Thanks for watching and have a great one. Peace.